Why friend, perhaps we've never met. But I believe some invisible thread has connected us. Right here in this very moment. Maybe it's a nameless feeling. A vague sense of unease. When you look at your life and wonder, is this really all there is? Is this truly who I am? I want to share a story with you. Not someone else's, but ours. IT is the story of the invisible cages we build for ourselves, and the journey of breaking them down to find the sky that truly belongs to us. The first cage, and perhaps the most common one, is plated in a shimmering gold called stability. I used to be obsessed with that word. To me, it was the pinnacle of a successful life. A 9-to-5 job at a respectable company. A steady paycheck, a network of safe acquaintances, and a career path laid out like a railroad track. I thought I was on the right path, that I was building an unbreachable fortress against the storms of life. But then one morning, I woke up to a terrifying emptiness. Nothing had changed. The room was the same. The job was the same. The coffee tasted exactly as IT had the day before. And IT was that very sameness that was suffocating me. I realized the fortress I was building wasn't meant to protect me. It was meant to imprison me. Stability, as society often defines IT, is a powerful sedative. IT stops us from thinking, from striving, from fighting. IT lulls us with the promise of a life without risk or volatility. We follow the pre-written scripts, repeat the skills we already know, and get the predictable results. Slowly our minds, these miraculous organs, designed for creation and problem solving, begin to atrophy. We are nitrogen monoxide longer thinking. We are merely executing, and what is the consequence? A deep knowing boredom. The feeling of being stuck in place while we watch the world move on. A soul that has become barren from a lack of purpose and passion. The cage of stability may be golden, but IT is still a cage. IT keeps us from flying, from seeing the higher mountains and the farther oceans. IT turns our life from a grand adventure into a daily status report. Are you in a cage like that? Be honest with yourself. Are you living a life that was programmed for you? Or are you writing the code of your own destiny? If the cage of stability is built from the bricks and mortar of habit, there is another, more sophisticated cage woven from light and whispers. IT has nitrogen monoxide bars, nitrogen monoxide walls. Yet it is everywhere. It lives in the phone in your hand. It's the grand theater of social media, where everyone is the star of their own flawless biopic. I used to be lost in IT. The first thing I do every morning was scroll through the lives of others. I saw luxurious vacations, picturesque meals, dazzling career achievements, and perfect love stories. And after every session, I would look at my own life with a feeling of invisible inadequacy. Why is my breakfast so plain? Why is my job so mundane? Why can't I be as happy as them? We are living in a virtual world where we compare our chaotic, backstage reality to someone else's highlight reel. It's a battle we can never win. This digital glamour plants a toxic belief in our minds that happiness and success must look a certain way. If your life isn't Instagram worthy, you must be failing. This is one of the greatest sources of despair for our generation. We aren't just fighting real-world pressures. We are fighting the perfect ghosts online. We blame ourselves, we beat ourselves up, and we slowly lose faith in our own worth. We forget that behind every photo of success are thousands of hours of grueling work. And behind every radiant smile, maybe silent tears for just a moment. Try putting your phone down and looking out the window. Watch a real leaf tremble in the wind. Listen to the unfiltered sound of a bird singing. Feel the warmth of a cup of tea in your hands. That is real life. And your real life, in all its imperfection, is worth more than 1 million virtual stages. But perhaps the strongest, most terrifying cage of all doesn't come from the outside world. Not from our jobs or our phone screens. IT is built from the very bricks of love, of care and of the fear deep within us. It is the invisible shackle of expectation. We grow up drowning in it. The expectation from our parents to be the good kid, to get a secure job, to marry the right person. The expectation from our friends to always be cheerful and agreeable. The expectation from our boss to always deliver flawlessly, and most dangerously, the expectations we place on ourselves, molded from all the others. The moment we start living for expectation is the moment we start losing ourselves. The path we walk is nitrogen monoxide, longer guided by the call of our own heart, but by the fear of disappointing others. At the root of this desperate need to please is a primal fear, the fear of being disliked. This fear is planted in us as children, through the gold stars we craved, and the praise we learned to depend on. We learn that to be loved is to be compliant. As adults, this psychological mechanism burrows into every corner of our lives. Do you dare to decline a colleague's invitation to drinks even when you're exhausted? Do you dare to challenge your boss on an idea you believe is wrong? Are you trying to be everything your partner wants, just for the fear of losing them? Sacrifice is only noble when it comes from a place of joy and free will. When it comes from fear and a sense of duty, it becomes a form of self-punishment. We are mistreating our own souls for the temporary approval of others. I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself, whose life are you actually living? Yours or the one that others desire for you? If you feel a yes resounding in your chest as you hear these questions, if you realize you are trapped, then I want to congratulate you. Because realizing you are in a prison is the first step to breaking out. This journey isn't easy. It demands courage. But it is worth everything. This prison break must begin in the deepest place of all, within your own mind first and foremost. Carve this truth into your soul. Your life is yours, not your parents', not your boss's, not your partner's, and certainly not the strangers on the internet. You came into this world alone, and you will leave it alone. Your greatest responsibility is to live a life that is true to yourself. Once you've set that as your inner compass, you need to create silence to hear its guidance. In this noisy world, creating moments of stillness is essential. Slow down, spend time each day in silence with nitrogen monoxide phone. No computer, just you and your thoughts. Look your fears in the eye and ask yourself what kind of life you truly want. Stillness brings clarity, but it is inner strength that gives you the power to act. When you are weak, you are easily swayed by the opinions of others. When you are strong, you become an uncheckable rock. So invest relentlessly in yourself. Learn a new skill, read a great book. Build a healthy body. When your knowledge is deep and your soul is nourished, you will have the confidence to walk your own path. And when you have the right mindset, a calm spirit and a strong core, it all comes down to one thing: living fully in the present moment. We spend so much time agonizing over the past or worrying about the future that we forget that life is only ever happening right here, right now. Cherish who you are today and what you have in this moment, for that is the only path to happiness. You know, a kite rises against the wind, not with the pressures, the expectations, the conventional mindsets. They are the headwinds, do not fear them. Use them as the very force that lifts you higher and farther to the place where you truly belong. This journey has just begun. But first, make a promise to me and to yourself. Starting today, you will begin the revolution to reclaim your own life. Are you ready?